Moody on the Move is presented by United Federal Credit Union. We get you.
Time for another road trip for Moody on the Move, taking you inside the businesses across Southwest Michigan to get the inside scoop on their newest innovations, technologies, and everything else. Today, we take you to Dr. Jill Caseworm's Professional Hearing Services, thanks to our good friends at United Federal Credit Union. We get you. Today, Dr. Caseworm's team wants to educate us all on how critical our hearing is and how it's so totally interconnected with the rest of our health in so many regards. Here to talk about that today is the Chief Operating Officer, Julie Dunsing, and Dr. Terry and Dr. Jill. Dr. Terry, I'm going to start with you because there are so many things that are interconnected to our hearing. Tell us a little bit about that, why it's so critical.
Well, there's a number of things that really interact with our hearing. People with hearing loss who don't wear hearing aids and don't treat their hearing loss are much more likely to have balance issues. They're more likely to fall. They're more likely to have issues with isolation and depression, and it can actually go into cognitive impairment that is permanent. And that is one of the big reasons why there is all kinds of research going on how important it is to treat your hearing loss as soon as it begins, not wait until it's very much more severe. Because if you wait till it's severe, it's much more difficult for your brain to adapt to all that.
Julie, tell us a little bit about the emotional pain and struggle connected to hearing loss, and especially for young people who oftentimes are this cavalier attitude, that can't be me. That's for old people need hearing aids, not me.
Right, Pat. So many people are impacted by hearing loss because of noise, and so they don't want to identify with that. They think it's a sign of aging, and so they start to isolate themselves. And then they become depressed. They miss out on activities with their family. They miss out on activities at work because they don't want to identify that they've had a hearing loss, and they miss out on so much of conversation and what's going on. So they do start to withdraw, and they do start to just struggle with everyday conversation.
And so, Julie, when you can't hear properly, you can't communicate properly, and while that leads to embarrassment, it's even more embarrassing when you answer something that wasn't even asked, or we find ourselves in those situations all the time.
Very true. And families, they get frustrated because they are being asked to repeat themselves over and over and again, and sometimes they say, just forget it, I'll do it myself, because they are embarrassed and frustrated for the person. So,
and Dr. Jill, all the time we hear now, hey, go get yourself a hearing aid. You can just go out, you can apply online, you can go to a store, pick it up over the counter. That nothing could be worse to do than to do that without having your hearing checked properly first and finding out what the issues are.
It's a good way to waste some money, Pat. There's been a lot in the news about over-the-counter hearing aids, and they're certainly out there, and you can go many places and get them. But we know that every research study has indicated that you need a professional involvement to have a good outcome. There's hearing. Hearing aids can help you do that. There's listening. Trust me, from my own perspective with my husband, that's not so easy. And then there's communicating. So we want to be involved in every aspect of the hearing journey, and we want to help people so that they get the best outcome possible.
And Dr. Julie, technology these days is absolutely amazing. I mean, I reflect back when I first got my first hearing aid, and it just seemed to really accentuate everything. Everything was raised to the same, it just made everything louder. But now the amazing technology that you have provided for me allows me to have a controlled climate where if I'm in a restaurant, I'm not hearing everybody else. I can hear them if I need to, but I'm hearing the people that I need to hear that are right
You know, as somebody who's been around for a while, like you, Pat, you know, I've seen so many versions of hearing aids, and they are good today. It's exciting time to be here. We can optimize the technology for your lifestyle, and that's what makes it so much fun, and that's what we're really so good at. So there's so much technology out there that even if you have a mild loss or a unique loss, I'm sure we can help. But the first step, call us and get a hearing test.
And so the best route is to do that. Just give you a call, log online, whatever, but easily the best way is just call, and then you're talking to somebody that can schedule when you can meet and have your hearing checked.
We'll ask some questions to make sure we're doing the right test for you, and it'll be simple, and it'll be a good way to find out exactly what your baseline is and what your hearing loss is like, or what your hearing is like right now.
And to further accentuate the capabilities of the new technology, we're going to talk with a couple next who have experienced the great service from Dr. Caseworm's Professional Hearing Services. I personally know of the value of the new technology and the quantum leap that it's made over the course of the years. I have with me today here at Dr. Caseworm's Stoney and his wife, Jackie. So, Stoney, tell me a little bit about the way it's changed your life. It really is remarkable.
Well, if I can start back a little bit, I started wearing hearing aids about 15 years ago when I was changing jobs. And I knew that I needed to be able to hear clearly, and I knew I was missing parts of sentences. And so I got my first pair of hearing aids here, and they were helpful, but they were nothing like the technology today. What I have currently is amazing. It's like wearing computers. It can do all kinds of things and just makes sure that I don't miss the conversations that I really need to hear.
Yeah, in the early days, everything was just elevated. It just made everything louder, and now they're able to sort and refine everything. And Jackie, it's got to be a delight for you because he can finally hear you, right?
That's very true. He can hear me. I have to be careful what I say at times. He's always been a good communicator, and so I was not surprised that he wanted to be able to hear better and recognize that he wasn't hearing everything.
And now he's a good eavesdropper too.
Exactly.
Thank you both for being with us today. And that's a wrap here today from Dr. Caseworm's Professional Hearing Services. Again, remember, if you can't hear properly, please call, get your hearing checked, and have it done by a true professional team here at Dr. Caseworm's. Our thanks to the good team over at United Federal Credit Union for making it all possible for us to be here. We get you. Also, a great thanks to our friends at Little Red Fern Productions for always making us look good, and they can help you as well. Give them a call someday. Thank you.